Hello people! Today we're going to go to the beach, just in time for summer. Now this set was very easy. I think all skill levels should be able to do this. I was slightly intimidated when I started it, but as I was going along and saw how easy it was, I don't know why I was so afraid of it. Anyway, I'm starting off with a medium length coffin nail. Now this polish, I do not know where you can get it. I bought this at a nail supply store eons ago, and I have really never used it. So I have this one, and there's one other one of the same brand. But essentially, we're going to be going in, we're going to do the water part first. Now this is the darker of the two. And also why I like this polish for this is it's got a very fine glitter in it, so it has some sparkle, which I thought would be cool for the water. Now you don't need to be neat about this, putting these on. You'll see why we get to the second color, but we're just going to go along and put these at the top portion of the nail. Now on this coat, as I was going along, I was a little more careful, but you see how I'm not smoothing it out so it's all even. I want it to be splotchy looking because that's going to give us the kind of the movement in the water that we're looking for. Now I didn't speed this section up very much because I wanted you guys to be able to see when I get to the second color how I'm going to do this. Alright, we're not doing the pinky because that one's going to be all sand. And we're not curing yet either. Okay, this is the second color. This is the lighter of the two. And it also has the glitter in it. Now I'm not going to ombre these together because I don't want a super neat blend in here. I'm just going to, when I started off on this first one, I ended up getting an extra brush out because I was going to use that to swirl the colors together a little bit. But after I did this one, that's the brush I usually use for putting on gem glue. But then I just wanted to kind of swirl these together a little bit, and you can't really see now what I'm doing because I'm out of the shot. And I'm just adding a little bit more of the lighter one. Now I did that on here. As I went along on the rest of them, I was just using the bottle, the polished brush from the bottle. You just have to be aware that you need to wipe it off before you put it back in there so you don't contaminate one color into the other. But basically, I'm just taking this, I'm just blopping it on there, and then when I get to where the two colors are, I'm just kind of I'm just kind of tapping it on there and just a little bit. Now, so I'm going to add a little bit more dark on that one. It's not really it's not a marble. We didn't need to go the route of marbling, but this works just as well for this application. I'm kind of putting them on the same way I was put on the alcohol ink. So I'm kind of just dabbing it on where I want it. And then I'm kind of just mixing them a little bit towards the center. There's nothing about this that you got to be neat. You can just literally plop them in. Now we're going to cure this. And ready for the second coat. Now see, I'm not even wiping that one on. I'm just kind of blobbing it on here and there. And the same thing with this. I'm just kind of blobbing them to where they meet. I'm just kind of tapping them until they kind of merge to some degree. We want it to be splotchy looking and not nice and smooth because of the water movement. I think it looks better that way. Now, when you guys see nail art that looks like complicated and stuff, it's not always. You just have to break it down into steps. And I mean, I'm finding this out a lot more and more as I'm going along, as I've been tackling different designs that I've seen that looked complicated, that when I first started nail art, I would have been like, there's no way I could pull that off. But I'm seeing just how to do these things now, a lot of them, and it's really not as difficult as you might think. As I said at the beginning, any skill level should be able to do this set. And I'm sorry I'm out of shot. Okay, here we go. Well, now we're in. We're in again. Okay, there I was just kind of swirling them together. I was trying to get a little swirly motion going, and that's what I'm going to do with this. I did this on just a couple of them because I wanted to get a little bit of a, the watery, swirly stuff going. Okay, now we're going to cure those. Now here's where I should have put the top coat on the water, and I didn't do it there. Okay, now I'm moving on to the sand. Now if you guys do this, top coat your water section first before you get to this part. But I'm going to just go in here with the color I'm using on the sand. You don't even have to be real neat about it. Just get it up in there. Now also, what I did not do in hindsight, I should have done 2 coats of this tan for the sand color, and I did not. I only did 1. But if you guys are going to do this, do 2 coats. I think it will look better in the end. But as I said, you don't have to be neat at your join lines because that's going to get the foamy part of the, the white foamy stuff of the water is going to be there. So you're not going to see any of that anyway. Do remember to cap the tips of your nail. Not only was this set easy, but it was really quick too. I was very surprised. I finished this one in my one afternoon. Most sets take me 2 afternoons because I only have 2 hours at a time to work on them. But this one I cranked out easily in the 2 hours, and I had time to spare because I did some other stuff. Okay, we're not curing that yet. Now you're going to get clear acrylic powder, and we're going to do this just like we do embossing. Okay, we're just going to sprinkle this on and let it soak in there. You're just going to keep going with it until you don't have any shiny areas anymore. And we're just going to go ahead and do all these. I don't remember if I show all of these or not, but it's all the same. Now you could do them one at a time and cure as you go, but like as you guys know, I like to work on a whole rack of stuff at once. If you don't do acrylics or you're just doing nail art, you don't want to deal with the acrylics, maybe use polygel. You should just get yourself some clear acrylic powder. It doesn't have to be any of the high-end brands. I mean, the cheapest one will do for this. Just have it on hand because it works great for doing embossing. There's also a technique for doing an ombre that I haven't tried yet, that you use acrylic powder, which I'm going to try pretty soon. Maybe the next time I do something with an ombre, I'll try it, and we'll see if it works. And we're ready for the thumb, which is all sand. And here we go. I did speed this up, as you can tell, because it was taking a little bit, and I didn't think you guys wanted to watch me pour stuff on there over and over and over at a slow pace. All right, now when we're happy with this, before we cure it, we're not curing it yet, I'm going to scratch in the sand a couple of just really simple designs, like maybe you would draw in the sand if you were at the beach. I'm just going to use this push pin. I didn't want to use a dotting tool because I didn't want my lines to be real fat. And even my smallest dotting tool was kind of heavier. So I'm using this little pin. Now you'll see as I start to do my design, I'm going to do a heart on this one. This is where I'm saying you really should have had 2 layers of the tan color. You know, first layer cure, then the second layer add your acrylic powder to. Because when you see these, it's clear underneath the nail, and where I've just scraped that off, it's see-through now, where it really shouldn't be. It should be like a darker sand, I guess. So that's what we have. Now I'm leaving those little chunks on there because if you were drawing at the beach, something that you would probably have those. If you guys remember my polar bear nails, if anybody watched that this past winter, we did the same thing with snow, with little feet prints in the snow. It's the same deal. And on this one, I think this is the one I decided to just do a little simple fish on here. Now I am wiping off some of that excess stuff off of the end of the pin as I go. Okay, the big bulk of that I'm taking off, but the little bits of it I'm leaving on there. And let's give him an eye so he can see. Doop. Okay, there we go. And that is all I'm going to be doing on this rack. Now we're going to give these a double cure. And they're back out. I've done the other ones and cured them, and now I'm just taking a brush and cleaning off any loose acrylic powder that may still be on there. And now I'm going to put my top coat on, but if you guys listened to me, you should have done this before you did the sand. I, however, did not plan ahead very well. I mean, it worked out okay, but it just would have been easier to do it before the sandy part was on there. And this is just my basic no wipe tempered top coat from Benelisa that I'm still trying to use up the rest of. Now, I'm not putting a real heavy coat of this on, just just your regular standard one. It doesn't need to be real thick or anything. And once we get that on there, we'll be ready to cure those. And now we're going to move on to the foamy stuff. I'm using white gel paint from Saviland for this. And I'm not even going to get my detail brush. I'm just going to use that little yucky brush that I've been using for everything. And we're just going to go right along the join line. We're just going to make some little squiggly stuff. And then once I get the squiggly stuff on there, I'm just going to go in with my brush and I'm just going to start tapping it and kind of spread it out and just get it so it looks kind of sheer in some places, and so it looks like the foamy stuff. And you can just play around with it as much as you want. till you're happy with it. And these I didn't even take off. I just did the rest of these right on the rack because I didn't feel like, I mean, this went so much easier. I almost felt like when I got this set done, since I was done so quick, I almost was sitting there going, okay, what did I forget? I must have done something wrong because I never finish stuff that fast. I would say going in, knowing what you're doing, you could probably knock this set out in about 45 minutes to an hour fairly easily. I mean, some of my time at doing this was a little bit of experimenting, so there we are with that. That's all there is to it. We're going to cure that now. And then we're going to move on to the embellishments. My trusty gem glue out. And then I'll be using these little shells and starfishes. I have them in gold and silver, which I got from AliExpress, but I'm going to do gold today. Kind of a shocker for me, I know. I usually do everything in silver as I don't generally like yellow gold. And you can see right off the bat, I got way too much glue on there, but that's the way it's going to be at this point. Okay, we're just going to plop them on where we want them. I think that's the only one I put on that one, if I remember. I'm not putting stuff on every one, it's just going to be on a few of them. That was another thing when I was done. I was looking at them thinking, does it need more stuff on there? Because you guys know me, I like to glue all kinds of stuff on there until there's a lot of it. But I restrained myself this time. I edited and I went with a slimmed down version, I guess. All right, now this one I didn't have enough glue, or the glue wasn't spread out enough. That's why, because of the concave part of the shell, there's no glue touching that middle part. So you got to make sure you get enough so the edges get in the glue. I'm going to line that up the way I want it and then kind of press it into that glue, make sure it's going to stay on there. Okay, and then we're going to move on. I believe I'm going to put something on the thumb of this one. I was trying to decide, and then I'll finish the rest of them off camera after this one. And we're in the home stretch, folks. We're almost done. This one's going to have 2 doodads on there. And these guys, some of them did not want to cooperate and flip up the right way. Like this starfish that I started with in the first place. I did not want to flip over no matter what I did with it. Okay, and that is a little too much glue for the starfish again. I don't know how come I got so glue crazy with these, but oh well. At least I know it's not going to come off. And that's that. Now we're going to give these a cure. I'll cure those for 90 seconds, and there we are, all finished. There's the whole set. Easy peasy and beachy breezy. If you liked them, please give me a like. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I upload every Saturday. And thank you so much for watching my tutorials. See you next time.